Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Grants Pass Oracle. Good to see everybody out. And again, man, it's good to see everybody without their masks on, too. Well, we have an opening song for you this morning, and this is a song that you all know and can sing along. Come together.
Sing trusting yourself. The greatness in you is unfold. There is nothing new but power to believe and receive whatever you choose. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. The greatness in you unfolds. The greatness in you unfolds. One more time. The greatness in you
Thank you, Dave. Let's hear it from Dave. Come on. He rocks the house. Well, good morning. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. All you out in Zoom land and all of you in real land. We're so glad that you've made this your spiritual destination for this morning. We've been expecting you. Thank you for not disappointing us. And welcome again to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister. And it's my honor to lead you in our vision mission statement, which says that we are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles. Well, we will have some announcements, and that's me again. Okay, so announcements. We love the no mask policy required that's in effect, but you are still encouraged to wear one if that's good for you right now. It's a great time for our Zoom and Facebook options also. We are continuing to work on our Zoom experience to make it better. It seems like it has a mind of its own, but there's only one mind, so it's all the same mind changing its mind as we go. Sometimes the sound goes in and out. We're trying to figure it out, but hey, we're live nationwide. So practitioner meeting is today at noon. So please, if you're a practitioner, please stay for the meeting. And game night number 2.0, Friday, March 25th, 6:30 to 8:30. Come, enjoy games, snacks, camaraderie, and laughs. Get to know your spiritual community in a whole new divine way. Also, stay tuned for dinner and a movie, which will be happening soon. Stay tuned for that. We're going to have a wonderful evening of food and a movie for those who want to do that. Fundraising committee meeting Sunday, March 27th at noon, right here in the sanctuary. Come join the fun. If you want to, help us plan these things, or, just be a supporting person. We're starting to gear up for spring. I mean, it's the first day of spring today, isn't it? It is. Wow. It looks like somebody sprang forward their clocks and made it last week. Some didn't, some did. Our pollinator garden planting day. Yay. So we're spiritual gardeners, and the pop group are hosting a pollinator garden planting party. We will be prepping the big bed on the west side of the sanctuary and then planting it with flowering perennials for our local pollinators. It's going to be right here from 1 to 3 on Saturday the 9th will be the prepping, and then on April 16th will be the planting. So if you're a prepper or a planter or both, please come and help us with that. There's going to be something for everyone, all levels. If you're not a gardener, there's still something for you to do. Or if you've got the green thumb, there's definitely things for you to do here. We have just such beautiful grounds, and it's all volunteer. We don't pay anybody to take care of our grounds. you're it. So if you see something out of whack, come and help us with it. Or tell us about it so we can find somebody that wants to volunteer to do that. So we need someone with a truck to pick up the soil at Copeland on the 9th in the morning. Come on out for exercise, socializing, spring enjoyment. Refreshments will be provided. We know that where 2 or more are gathered, there's food. That's why we're here. Contact Jan Albright, 707-485-4675, and her email is in your handout, I believe. And bring back the potluck. Wow, with face masks being, up to you if you want to wear those. We're bringing food back. So like I said, where 2 or more are gathered, we will eat. So please, if you want to stay, and let's start up our first potluck on April 3rd, and our theme will be coming home. Yeah. Our joyful reunion of meeting together without masks should be celebrated with your favorite food that reminds you of coming home. Stay for snacks and socializing after service. And the metaphysical book study, Sunday mornings from 9 to 9:45 in the conference room in the main building here, led by yours truly, Reverend Steve. And we're studying the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity by Edwin Gaines. And we are having a ball with that. It's really intense. And please stand as Dave leads us as we sing, We Are One. Thank you.
Please join me in reading the gratitude. I deeply appreciate times of rest, knowing quiet and reflection refresh my soul, and so it is. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Paula Peterson, and I have the deep pleasure of being your podium practitioner today. At the back of the room is Claire Green. I just about spaced your last name. I'm sorry, Claire. Our lovely Claire Green. And she is holding the high watch for us. The high watch means that she is holding this container of space here and on Zoom, both. She's holding the container of space knowing the highest and best for each one of us throughout this time. She's holding each one of us in prayer. And thank you, Claire. after service, if you would like prayer, I will be available. Just, you know, grab me and say, I want prayer right now. Grab me and I would love to pray with you. That is, as a practitioner, that is what we do. Other ways to receive prayer from our practitioner team, there is a yellow form in the back of the chair in front of you. Fill that out and you can put it in the plate as it gets passed around, or it can go in the box back there next to Claire. Also, the blue form is for demonstrations. When you have a demonstration, there's no if, when you have a demonstration from prayer. We'd love to hear about that. When you put in that prayer request, then we, the practitioner team, prays for you for that next week, knowing the highest and best. And if you don't even want any specifics, but you just want the highest and best for your life or your family's life, that's what you can ask for too. Prayer is so powerful and we know that it works. Online, there are also ways to submit a prayer form, a prayer request. You go online and there's a place where you can submit a prayer. And there's now a new place on our website where you can build a prayer. So you can build your own prayer. It leads you through the 5 steps, and that's very, very powerful. And I know myself as a practitioner and any other practitioner would be happy to lead you through that process if you have questions. That's what we're here for. Okay, let's see. The flowers are still from Deborah from last week. They still look great. So we left them, but we love the sunflower. It is the national flower for Ukraine. It is it's their symbol, and we honor that country and that flower right now. Is there anyone here for the first time? Please raise your hand and we have a gift for you. Welcome. If you have a cell phone or anything that goes beep, please silence that at this time. And now let's read the prayer together. Today, I let go of any patterns of overwork and busyness, savoring times of rest and quietude. I bask in the sweet sense of joy and peace that comes with true relaxation. And so it is. And now Dave will lead us in I Am Loved, and go ahead and stay seated. And now I'm going to do a short reading and then a meditation, just a minute or so. But I asked Angelo to dim the lights because I want this to be a time of going within for you. As we settle into the awareness and the recognition that there is one power and one presence, we are so grateful that we recognize that in each other also. And I know this time is blessed and very good. And I'd like to now do a reading from your Science of Mind textbook. And it is a reading for insomnia, which I don't want anyone to fall asleep, but it was the perfect thing that I could find about rest and relaxation. So go ahead and just sink right on in. The spirit within me is in perfect rest. The center of my being is quiet and poised. I let my inner spirit fill my whole being with peace and stillness. My mind is quiet, calm, and deeply still. All tension is released, and the great inner peace that flows out through every nerve. I now relax in body and mind. I let the divine tranquility fill me. I rest in the still silence of spirit. And now we'll have a minute of meditation, staying in that quiet space. And now gently coming back to this time and space, we will enjoy a lovely tune from Dave and then our talk from Reverend Steve.
Well, folks, this morning I have a song for you. I've played before here. And if you haven't heard it, that's great. If you have heard it, boy, you're going to hear it again. And sometimes they say love is better the second time around, right? Love is lovely the second time. And today is the first day of spring. You know, if this was the first day of the New Year's, we'd all be making New Year's resolutions, right? Well, I have a spring resolution for you this morning. And it's very simple. Enjoy yourself. You're always on the go. You never take a minute off. Too busy making dough. Well, someday you say you'll have your fun. When you're a millionaire. Imagine all the fun you're gonna have in your old rocking chair. Enjoy yourself. Later than you enjoy yourself. You're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a week. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. Well, it's later than you think. I think I'm gonna have a birthday in about a month or so, so I gotta. wanna take an ocean trip, no matter come what may. You got your reservations made, but just can't get away. Someday you're gonna say you're gonna really get around. You're gonna really see the world. But just how far can you travel when you're 6 feet underground? Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. You're still around. The years go by as quickly as you will. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Sing it again, Sam. You're still the years go by quickly as a wind. But enjoy yourself, it's later. Enjoy yourself, it's later. I think I'm gonna have some cherry pie. Thank you, Dave. Let's hear it for Dave. He's one of our national treasures here, isn't he? Isn't he great? I'm going to turn off this TV because, you know, it's kind of mind of its own. But if you wanted to donate a TV, we could put it right up here in place of this one.
Yeah.
They're no longer. Oh,
no.
You know, you start talking about it, and energy flows where your attention goes, and bye-bye. It won't even turn off now for me. It wants to be on. Okay, well, we're just going to leave it on then. That's going to be distracting, but it'll be fun for you guys to look at, something to check out. Well, good morning. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. Let me get myself set up here. And we have a couple things we need to take care of because last week I gave out certificates for Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class. Why don't you go ahead and take this one down? We don't need them both on since I got this thing on. So I would like to bring up Paula, our assistant for this class. Paula Peterson assisted me with this class, and I'd like to bring up the assistants. And our first one is Roxanne Zirkle. Come on up. You know, there's nothing more powerful than taking a class. It's one thing to come on Sunday, which is great, but it's another thing to really invest yourself in this teaching and find out some new things. So, thank you, Roxanne. Woo-hoo. And Karen Zelenka. Hey. You notice that our new people are taking all the classes, right? So come on, come on, everybody else. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So here we are, living everyday wonder, and this monthly theme is play. And this week's title is I'll Rest When I'm Dead. You ever said that? I'm so busy, I'll sleep when I make my transition. How many times have we fallen into that temptation to glorify our overworked and busy lives? You know, one of the greatest wonders of this life is the sweet sense of peace and joy that we get from real, substantial rest. Spirit has created each one of us with an overflowing capacity for joy, balance, and freedom. And yet, we have a very human tendency to get caught up in the busyness of the world, and we forget to engage in these essential aspects of our divine self. You know, I treated myself to a vacation
in February, and I went to Hawaii for 10 days. And man, I needed that. I needed to not, you know, I actually took my watch off, right? Because I didn't even know, I didn't want to know what time it was. You know, I was on Hawaiian time, where it's like, what it means is you eat when you're hungry, you sleep when you're sleepy, you go to the beach when you want to go to the beach. And I hadn't done that in so long. You know, I pride myself on, you know, making sure that this center is up and running and the doors are open. And even when we were on, you know, we were closed physically, we were still wide open on Zoom every week, having an experience. And it was actually more work having the Zoom thing and getting that all together than doing it in person. But play is sacred activity. If we don't rest, then we have nothing to give away when we're working so hard. We need that rest. It's absolutely necessary for us to have a complete expression in this thing called life. Playing is healing to the body, mind, and heart, and connects us with each other and inspires us to be our greatest yet to be. But so often, especially in this country, in a lot of other countries, they, you know, take months off. You know, we get, you know, if you can get 2 weeks off, you know, boy, you really made it, right? This is why we, you know, want to retire early, is because we're so tired by the time we get to being 60 years old that we're ready for a permanent vacation. How many times have we fallen into that? No, I'm just going to keep going. I'll rest after my transition. Well, what if you knew that this is the rest from the other experience that you are having, that you actually manifested into this world of form as rest? And here you are working so hard that you can't enjoy this. What if this is the vacation and you're working through it? You know, there's a line in Aerosmith's song, "You got to live like you're on vacation." What if you lived like you were on vacation all the time? Like you took your watch off and you didn't have to meet anybody for anything. You know, maybe you even turned your phone off. Oh, turned my phone off? I might miss something happening in the world, right? It's almost like we've become so attached to our phones that they drive us, right? Don't they? I mean, it's in your car, it's by your bedside, it's, you know, do you ever even put it in Do Not Disturb? Do you even know how to do that? I just learned. And every night at about, you know, 7 p.m. and Do Not Disturb, I need to go to sleep. But do I still get up in the middle of the night and check it? Sure. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm sleepwalking, right? Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Do you find yourself doing this? No. Good, yay.
Only one.
I'm the only one. Okay, well, I'm preaching to my own choir here. Within rest, we interact with the Spirit. When we are in dreamland, we are acting out eventualities that we could never act out any other way. And we need that rest. We need to have those dreams. We need to have our mind just let go. But do we do it? As we let go of the siren's call to constantly be in motion and to overwork ourselves, we open the door to a mystical experience. The only way you're going to have a mystical experience is to stop pushing yourself, is to turn off. Can you turn off? In our Declaration of Principles, Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote, "We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. Again, that's Dr. Ernest Holmes from our Declaration of Principles. Living in close contact with the indwelling spirit involves listening to our intuition and to that still small voice within us, which requires us to be in quietude. If we are always worried about where we're supposed to be next, we're never in this moment. How many times have we lived from that place of not being in the moment, that we're always worried about what's going to happen next, or we're always concerned about what we did recently that we're upset about, or that we're judging ourselves or somebody else? That means that we're never here now. Be here now. It's one of my things I do to be here now. Be here now. Bring yourself. Sometimes, you got to do that. If you're worried about something, your worry is negative prayer, right? How about you take those worries and transform them into prayer requests? And instead of going, oh, I wonder, I hope it's going to be okay, what if you just said, you know what? It is okay. Everything is okay. Everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to be. Everything that happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen, so you could have a certain type of experience. Our judging of it now makes it good or bad. When we look back and we do it without judgment, we can actually change the past. We can change what happened in the past by changing our perception of it and going, you know what? It's all okay. It's all okay. And we need to rest in that. Can you be okay knowing that you're exactly where you need to be right now, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now? That if the infinite itself was to stand before you and give you a card saying, this is what you're supposed to be doing right now, it would have being here on this Sunday morning exactly where you need to be. Wouldn't that be cool to know? How does it feel that you are now know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be? Wow. I can rest a little, which brings me to my 3 talking points. The case for real rest. Rest is needed for the body, valuable for a quality life, and essential for your soul. A call for regular, sustained periods of rest are included within most faith traditions. That's why we have a meditation, so you guys can fall asleep a little bit. That's why I say we want at least a minute. For those of you that didn't get a minute of sleep last night, come in here and sleep. Come on in. They train us in ministerial school that when your congregation comes in and they're a little tired, that's perfect. Because if they can fall asleep, you're speaking directly to their subconscious mind. They can't process what's going on and deny it. So go ahead and just take a little nap. Just go ahead and go to sleep. It's like if you were to go to sleep in front of your TV and the news was on, that's like the worst. You wake up having nightmares going, what happened, right? So why don't you make a recording of yourself saying things to yourself like, you are awesome. You are perfect. You are beautiful. And play that while you go to sleep. In your own voice, telling you that you are exactly where you need to be. Think about that reprogramming. You would be brainwashing yourself in a good way, right? Maybe we all need a little wash, rinse, and repeat. I mean, I know that when I came into this teaching, I definitely needed that. So a call for regular sustained periods of rest. Doctors tell us that rest reduces stress and allows the body to heal. What's the first thing that they tell you when you've sustained some sort of injury or illness? Bed rest. Go lay down. Go lay down somewhere. Well, you know, if we had laid down enough, maybe we wouldn't be suffering from some of the things that we have in our life, right? Artists tell us that rest allows us to connect with our inner creativity. And what happens is our problem-solving faculties get triggered. Have you ever had a really challenging situation you didn't know how to figure out, and you finally rest, you slept on it, and you woke up and the answer was there? That's because we got far enough away from the challenge that we could let the infinite give us some new information. But if we're always thinking about it, the mind that created the challenge isn't the same mind that solves it. You have to change your mind. Just like you change your socks. You need to let go. Extended periods of rest, 12 to 24 hours straight, at least once per month, gives us time to dig deeply into delight and into wonder of our lives. This is why people that retire, they're always smiling. They're always like, oh, yay. I don't know how I ever worked. I don't have time. I don't have time for work. I'm so busy being retired. I'm so busy resting, right? Seems like we have more to do when we retire. What kind of retirement is that? You've got to schedule. Can you imagine? When was the last time you took 24 hours straight to rest? Unless you were had something going on where it put you down for 24 hours. When was the last time you initiated a 24-hour rest period in your life? Just saying, I'm calling it on myself. It's just me up here. Number 2, why do we hide from rest? Why do we run? Somebody says, oh, you should rest. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm too busy to rest. There is no question that we could all use a little more rest. And yet, we resist it. Our frenzied culture tells us that we don't have time to waste. We need to catch up. We need to get ahead. We need to do more. We need to be better. This cult of the hustle and rushing around trying to counter our belief in lack is just not healthy. It's just not good for us. We need to look at what we're doing. If you find that when you don't get enough rest, you start feeling run down, don't you? We need to give ourselves the rundown before we need it. It's just like you don't run your car completely out of gas before you decide to fill it up again. You make sure that when that little light comes on, that you've got enough. When that little light comes on in your life, you need to rest. Why do we believe we lack something? Enough money, enough resources, enough praise, enough attention. But what we learn from studying these principles in the science of mind is that there's always more than enough. Take one tree, just one tree, and count the leaves. By the time you got to the end of it, there'd be more coming out and more dropping off. There's just no way to do it. What about the ones on the ground? Are you going to count those? Or what about one beach? We're going to count every grain of sand on that beach. Just one shovelful would take you so long. There is a plenitude in this arena. And you know what? Let me tell you something. You are never going to get it all done. It's just not going to happen. All the stuff that you've always wanted to do, just let it go. Now, it doesn't mean you don't make goals and, have a schedule, but don't crucify yourself because you didn't do everything on your to-do list. I am such a to-doer that if I'm out doing errands and I stop and do an extra errand, I'll pull over and write that down on my list and cross it off. You know, because I want to feel, don't you do that? Nobody's ever done that, just me again, right? It's like, I didn't put on there that I had to stop and get the mail, but the mailbox is right there. I'm not going to drive by it. I'm going to stop and get my mail and cross it off my list. Isn't it? Aren't we just, we're just such doers, you know? And we have the consciousness to build whatever we want in this plane of existence. We are such powerful creators. You know, there is nothing more powerful than a mind that has made up its mind to be, do, or have something. Nothing. Have you ever seen these people? They're bulldozers. You get out of the way. You know, here they come. Go, do your thing, you know? If not, you're going to become part of their, you know, wake. I mean the wake like a boat. I don't mean, you know. So let's not believe that we lack anything. In our frenzy, we can hide our feelings. Sometimes we hide behind our busyness, don't we? I'm just too busy for prayer. Couldn't do it. When prayer is the one thing that would handle all of our challenges, right? We're too busy to heal damaged relationships. We're too busy to have the difficult conversations and devote more time and energy to self-reflection. Why? Why won't we take the extra 5 minutes and pick up that 300-pound phone and call our relatives or an old friend and just say, hey, I was thinking about you, and I just wanted you to know I love you. Think about it. What if you got that call? What if you got that call that somebody that you haven't heard from or maybe you had a challenge with called and said, you know, I just wanted to say I was sorry. Oh man, doesn't that make you tingly? Just like if that one, you know, that one person that you're having a challenge with was to call and leave a message and just say, hey, I just wanted you to know that you were probably right and I was wrong. Wouldn't that just like, whoa, blow my mind. It's not that hard to do. We need to make those tough calls. Number 3, resting in the one. Our theme this year is living everyday wonder. And nothing is more wonderful than resting in our beliefs. What do you believe? What is the energy that created you? What do you believe that is? Call it God, source energy. Something gave you the greatest gift that you can ever receive. It's this thing called life. Without life, what are you? Well, it's a whole different talk, isn't it? What happens when you make your transition? What do you believe happens? Is it just fade to black and it's over? But that was a nice experience. Okay, well, what's next? Some people believe that something goes on. Maybe you have another life in another world, in another plane of existence. Again, that's a talk title for another day. That's a whole other deal. Ernest Holmes wrote, spiritual experience comes in the stillness of the soul, when the outer voice is quiet. It is a quickening of the inner being to an eternal reality. And that's Ernest Holmes. So this quickening is the doorway to the mystical experience. But we have to slow down for our spirit to connect. If we are moving so fast in this thing called life that we're missing the miraculous energy that's right before us, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we working ourselves so hard? I'll rest when I'm dead. Yeah, you will, but why not rest right now? Why put it off? You know, heaven is not out there somewhere. Heaven is right here, right now, and we need to make it that. So, in conclusion, this week, with the sacred wonder of peace in your heart, explore the ways in which you can sink into the bliss of sustained rest. Just turn off the TV. Again, if energy flows where our attention goes, and we're always, what's happening next? We need to turn that off and be still and know that we are it. We are it. It is us. There's only one of us here. We are the source energy expressing as the countless life forms that populate this plane of existence. Nothing could be more important than you resting and enjoying your life and loving yourself. So, take a time out. Love yourself deeply. Honor yourself. Go have a glass of water and a sandwich. It's okay to slow down. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.
So it's time for our prayer now. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or take a soft focus on the flowers. Whatever takes you deeper, let's go there now. Remember who we are. So as we just slow down, an energy of peace is created. For it is in the stillness that all life springs eternal. And the deeper the rest that we get, the more expansive our consciousness. Because I know that there is a power. This power is breathing our body. This power is beating our hearts. It's digesting our food. And it's doing all the things to move all the right molecules for the perfect, miraculous healing to happen in our bodies. And it's happening right now. And as we move our attention to what we believe, we activate that miraculous energy. And healing, true healing, is happening because you stopped to rest. Because you changed your mind. Because seeing your challenges as already healed is the first step in the healing process. Letting go and letting God be God in those situations is what the stillness is all about. So I may not know what you're walking through right now, but I know that something powerful is available to each one of us. And as we move our attention to what we believe, releasing our attachment to what no longer works, allows that healing, revealing essence of who and what we truly are to come forth in our lives. How good it is to know that we are all in the midst of a huge healing right here and right now. No matter what it may look like, something miraculously beautiful is happening as who and what we are. Again, we don't turn away from the challenge to deny it. We turn away to focus our energy on healing, on the revealing of truth. And from that, something powerful is happening. So we give great thanks for that healing, for that revealing, for that newness of love in our life, for new connections, for apologizing, and for being willing to apologize to those who deserve it, which turns the page in our life and allows great rest and healing to happen. So we let go, placing these words directly into the living, loving law of mind, where miraculous healing is happening right here and right now, as we affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, well, okay, everybody wake up. Wait, come on back. After reeling you guys in, this is good to kind of have a timeout, isn't it? It's good to relax. So let's take our offering in our hands and put it on our heart. Maybe we're just offering our heart today, but let's recite this together, which says, I absolutely know I can't help God, so I give freely and joyous of my heart, and so it is. This morning, excuse me. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They're evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They do good work in the world. They bless the giver and receiver and allow this Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living to be open and available to those who are seeking to remember who they are, and even those who may not know that. And for this, we are all so well blessed in this community, as we affirm it together by saying, and so it is. And it's time for our songs. Let's stand up and sing, shall we?
With all else created.
repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my mind.
In my body.
In my mind.
And in the body of my affairs.
And in my body.
I think it.
I did it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
And I know it.
I know it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way it is.
And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.
Thank you, guys.
Have an awesome week, everybody. Happy spring.